The mayor here gave voice to what many had feared today, that thousands may be dead in these floodwaters.
Hurricane Katrina could seem mild compared to a future storm, which could destroy more homes, kill more people, and happen 600 miles away from the coast. Learning about flood protection can be dry.
Today I would like to briefly talk to you about what are levees and flood walls.
Until our defenses fail.
Welcome back to coverage, our extended coverage of today's dramatic flooding episodes.
Levees protect 20 million Americans from flooding, but the levees are getting old. So old that the American Society of Civil Engineers gives them a D, and conservatively, we'd probably need 20 or 25 billion to fix it all. One of the oldest, most at-risk systems is on our country's second largest river.
So on the other side of the train tracks, that's the Ohio River. And on the other side of flood walls like this and the levee that it's attached to, on this side is Louisville's population of 617,000 people, which I should point out is 200,000 more people than lived in New Orleans at the time of Hurricane Katrina.
We've kind of done some assimilations to say if we have a breach or a failure, or if the flood protection system didn't exist. Yeah, it definitely would mirror the impact of a Hurricane Katrina. Based upon the extreme storm events that we get today, it would be more catastrophic than the 1937 flood, which was devastating to the city and to the community.
Tony Parrott oversees Louisville MSD, including the levees the city inherited from the federal government built more than 70 years ago. He says the city's 29 miles of flood protection need probably $4 billion of work to keep up with climate change.
The problem is that, our need is so large, and it's really been exacerbated with the increase of the extreme storm events that we're seeing and the number of flood events that we're seeing in terms of the Ohio River flooding brought on by climate change.
One of the most at-risk pieces of this whole flood protection system is it's this big thing. This is a pumping station that was built about 70 years ago. It's right on this creek. It's called Beargrass Creek, and that connects directly to the Ohio River. And a lot of people worry if there was a big flood that really put this pumping station to the test, they think the results could be catastrophic.
With similar fears across America, Sacramento, St. Louis, New Orleans, on a long list of places at risk. Two recent studies confirm climate change is already bringing us more flooding, more often, and only intensifying between now and 20LX, 2060. Specifically for the Ohio River, the Army Corps of Engineers predicts floodwaters could be 35% higher by 2060.
Folks need to understand that climate change is real. Many cities are dealing with rising floodwaters and dealing with aging infrastructure. And we would hope that it would not take a catastrophic event to really raise awareness to folks on how critical these assets are. We don't want to be the ones that have to deal with a Katrina type of event in our city.
This story isn't meant to make you feel hopeless, but hopefully it does motivate you, because if there was ever a time where you could influence what happens next, it's right now. Congress is debating two major infrastructure bills, potentially worth trillions of dollars. So if you want climate change to be prioritized, find your member of Congress, especially your members in the Senate, and call them, email them, and keep doing it. Now, as for Louisville, there is a study underway right now by the Army Corps of Engineers to try to figure out what to do about their flood protection system. But for Louisville and every American city in a low-lying area, it's really a race against the clock. Will we take action quickly enough before the worst effects of climate change are sure to arrive well before 20LX?